Amboseli National Park is located in East Sub-Saharan Africa in Kenya. It houses diverse biomes and ecosystems, but is dominated by savanna grasslands. The Lake Victoria Basin is integral to local livelihoods and the local economy. It's home to a lot of big game species and large game reserves and attracts a lot of tourism. Some of the largest threats to the ecosystem are livestock overgrazing, poaching, poor water management, and overpopulation. So we've had a few other guests on the show the past few weeks who have explained in depth what PES programs are. They're essentially arrangements in which payments are made for the benefits provided by local natural resources, such as clean water or timber. Let's dive into what some of the PES programs are in this region.
Forest Trends Ecosystem Services map shows that there are actually a lot of ecosystem services provided in East Africa, and there's a growing number of land-based carbon offset PES programs in the region that predominantly focus on restoration and forest conservation. There are also many watershed-based PES programs. Most of these programs are led by NGOs, but there are some led by government agencies that involve water utilities. Amboseli National Park is made up of predominantly of savanna grasslands with many large charismatic megafauna. Its idyllic landscape attracts a lot of ecotourism, and it's a popular destination for safaris. Additionally, the park is also home to an endless supply of underground water that comes from melting snow on Mount Kilimanjaro. The park itself cannot support a viable population of species, so it relies on surrounding community lands to provide wildlife corridors. A major issue at the park is that while tourism generates a lot of revenue, historically its benefits have been inadequately received by local people. Many people in the surrounding communities have been experiencing poverty, and many of the surrounding landowners have sold off their lands for development and agriculture. This has increased habitat loss and fragmentation and negatively impacted water quality. So the African Wildlife Federation has been paying landowners to keep their lands and keep them open and accessible to wildlife instead of selling them. AWF is in part funded by local tourism investors and other various private and government grants. Through the project, 5 rancher associations have been formed, and they include over 340 landowners who have made collective decisions about land management and are involved in discussions about the program. When there's a conservation violation that is reported, they get handled at the community level.
What's the current status of the program, and what has the program achieved in terms of community participation and conservation goals?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, there are 350 landowners involved in the program, and together they are protecting over 20,000 acres of critical wildlife habitat. The conservation lease payments are benefiting over 2,450 individuals when you include members of each landowner household.
Our research shows that many of the PES programs fail to stay operational. Is your organization experiencing the same challenges? What other issues have you run into?
So one of the pitfalls of our program is finding ways to deliver benefits in an equitable manner. Maasai people who do not own land are not able to participate in the program. Additionally, if landowners fall outside of the wildlife corridor or dispersal area, then they don't qualify for the conservation lease program. However, there are business and government utility entities who have shown that they are willing to pay for water-based PES programs in the region, and also rural landowners are motivated to protect forests and the watershed.
What are some of the other opportunities or challenges that you've run into?
Both the government agencies and NGOs are critically underfunded in this region, and this is compounded by landowners who can't afford buy-ins without adequate financial incentive. For this reason, very few programs have taken root. Only 1/5 of the programs have reached the point of implementation. The lack of funding and local poverty has been a major barrier to PES development across sub-Saharan Africa. This is why there's a great need to continue learning and to develop these programs.